Hello, it's Crafty Rhea, and I'm back again today to make some more cards. This thank you card I had on my desk. It's really pretty. It has peacock feathers, which is some of my favorite things. And it was a sample card that was sent to me, and it was sent by the Gallery Collection. You can go to their website and pick out some cards, and they will send them to you. I also have this. Glamour is about feeling good in your own skin. This came in one of my Jamberry style boxes from a long time ago. I happened to find it while I was cleaning up in here, and I thought I would recycle this into a card as well. So for this one here, I'm using a card that measures 4 inches by 5.5. This just happens to be 4 inches wide, so it'll work perfectly. I have a piece of gold foil paper that will go with it. And for this, I have a blue 5x7 card back. It's larger than the card, so we're going to get a little creative. And I also have this really pretty glitter paper that will go with it pretty good. So we'll start with this Glamour card. So what I want to do, I want to use this piece and this piece. And I also want to cut out this Glamour is feeling good in your own skin, and that's going to be my focal image. But I do want to use the top and bottom on the card. So I'm just going to cut it, cut the top off and cut the bottom off. And I will adhere them right to this as if it were a piece of paper underneath. I'll use my tape runner since they're just nice small pieces of paper. And since I want it to be even with the top of the card, I'm going to do my little trick where I lay the card flat and then I put this flat down on my surface and I line it up. And the same thing with the bottom piece. And then I want to cut this to fit in between both of those. So I'm going to measure to see how big I need that piece to be. I'm going to measure from that gold line down to this bottom line, and that is about 4 3/8. So I'm going to cut this piece at 4 1/2. Let me see if I need to trim it side to side. I don't, that just happens to be 4 inches wide. So I'm going to cut this at 4 1/2. So I'm kind of making my own background paper to go on the card. So I will use my tape runner on this. This is a very thick piece of cardstock. And I will line it up this way against the fold. Make sure I have it the right way against the fold, and I will make sure I'm just covering that gold line on either side. There we go. So we have the card base ready. And I'm going to cut off at least the name, and I'm going to trim it in on each side. I'm going to trim it as pretty much as far as I can and still get the image. I'm not sure if I want to keep the quotes or not, so we'll see how it looks on here with the quotes. That's not bad. I think if I cut the quotes off, it'll be too narrow, although I'm going to trim a little bit off the top and the bottom, right up to those quotes pretty much, just to have a little bit more of that gold show through. So when you get things in the mail that have cute quotes on them, don't throw them away. You can still use them for your cards. There we go. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and adhere it down flat instead of raising it up in case I want to put something in this card and mail it. That way it will give me more room to stuff the envelope if I wanted to. So that card is done. It is a recycled card, and I think that's really pretty. I could use that or put that in one of my eBay purchases if someone buys something glamorous. Maybe a piece of my jewelry or something like that. And I will go ahead and cut the front off of this card. We're moving on. And I will cut out the sentiment. So we have that. And for the front of the card, I need to decide what part of this card I want to keep. I do like that, and I want all three of the feathers on there, and I want it to go all the way up to the top. I don't want to lose any of this, and I can hold this up to my light and I can see through it on the back. So I do want to trim this edge down closer to that one. Just take a little bit off that. Excellent. And then I want to mark with my pencil where I want to cut. I do want to leave a little bit of the blue border. I guess it helps if I get the lead out of my pencil a little bit. So I have that, and then I want to mark it on the bottom here where I want it. Okay, that's not bad. I just want to erase my marks. I did buy a special eraser. I do want to show you. I got this on Amazon. It's a mono. It's got sand and rubber. The sand is for ink, and then the rubber is for pencil. Okay. And I've heard very good things about these erasers. This one was about $3 shipped. So that's not bad. With Amazon Prime, of course. I'm very addicted to Amazon Prime. So what I want to do is cut out thank you. And I think I will cut it right along that line. I'm trying to decide if I want to cut the word out smaller. I think I will cut it smaller because I don't think I want to cut that. So what I will do in this case, instead of using my other paper trimmer, today I will be using a craft knife. And I'm going to line up this ruler. It has a grid on it, so I can line it up with the edge of the card. And I can also see the word thank you underneath. So I know that I'm getting a nice straight line. It's hard to do it from this angle because I'm not looking straight at it. And what's nice about this ruler is it has this metal edge, and you can cut things out with that metal edge. I may not have cut all the way through the word, but that's okay. I'll go back and cut the little pieces I missed. I felt that one. You can feel when it hits your craft mat versus the paper. It's a different feel. It runs much more smoothly on the craft mat than it does on the paper. Okay. I think I need a new blade for that knife. And then I'm going to just finish my cuts. Since I already have them started, I can finish them pretty good. I didn't get the corners very good, so I'm just cutting a little more from the corners. There we go. So I have thank you cut out. And then I have the little hole. I just want to look at this and see that it's pretty even. It looks a little wider on this end than it does on the other end. So I'm going to take this and just even it up a little bit. Well, according to this, it's pretty even. There we go. That's better. I'm going to take my little scissors and just trim that up a little bit. I don't think it's that even. I could be wrong, and I could be making it worse here. There we go. So now I will take a piece of this and I will cut a border for this. Hold on just a second. I'm going to use this and cut this out a little bit better because I didn't do such a good job with it, and I want to make sure it's perfectly straight and even. Sorry about that. I'm going to use this little piece of tape and tape this down on my paper trimmer so I could line it up and then just give it a little cut there. And then so I have one flat side established, and then I'm going to go around 4 sides. So I didn't do a very good job cutting that out, but that's okay. We will fix it. And then I want to get this side nice and straight. And again, I will use my little piece of tape here to hold that in place. And then I will cut this side. I should have known better than to even try using my scissors. I'm terrible at that. Okay, most excellent. Now I will take this and line it up on here. And it's okay that this is now smaller because this is going to cover up that hole. I just have to give it enough of a border all the way around and it will cover up that hole. I will use some Elmer's glue to hold this down onto that glitter paper. And this is the Elmer's Glue All. They make other types of Elmer's glue, but the reviews that I've seen, the Glue All is the best for paper. They make craft glues and other things, but I don't think it's as good. It didn't hold up as good, according to some of the reviews that I've seen. I'm going to let that dry on there for a minute before I cut it out. And meanwhile, we'll go ahead and mount this on the card base, just like that. And I will use my tape runner. And I'll put some tape around the hole as well. Make sure it's opening in the right direction. Okay, so that card base is ready. And we also have this piece for the inside. And I happen to have this leftover piece from the other card, and I think I can mat it on there perfectly. I will use my tape runner. Since that gold is non-porous, if I use the Elmer's, it will slide around on there, I think, because it doesn't have anything to kind of absorb into. And then on the back of this, I can use Elmer's since it is regular cardstock on the back. It's not really coated with anything. It's not shiny. Okay, and then I have this one here, and I will go ahead and cut that out. I thought I didn't take enough of that edge off. There we go. And see, I told you that would fit over it perfectly. So I have these foam squares. These are from the Dollar Tree. One of my viewers sent them to me. And they're already pre-cut for me, and they are awesome and super easy to use. I'll just put one on each edge. This is thick enough cardstock where I don't have to worry about it bending in the middle so much. And then I will just set this on here, lined up. And there we go. We have that card all set and ready. Plus we have this card all done. And this is just from scrap mail, and this was from a card that I got as a sample. All right, well, if you haven't yet subscribed, you know I'd love it if you did. Just hit that subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. And while you're at it, just head on over to my Facebook group if you haven't yet. Create with Crafty Rhea. I can't even talk. Create with Crafty Rhea. And you can create with me, and we're having a blast over there. Everybody's posting their pictures. It's so much fun. I'd love for you to join us. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate all of you. And until the next video, you know what to do. Go get crafting. Bye-bye.